Friends, welcome to Spring Boot series. So today we are going to discuss about profile based logging in Spring Boot in the real time development. And now you have an idea what is a profile based in Spring Boot. In the previous video I explained how you need to develop profiles like development environment, production environment, UAT environment, right? So based on the environment I want to customize my the logging information. By default, whenever you are running a Spring Boot application, it will display just a message info logs. We have a different types of log levels in Spring Boot. Now try to see here. So in this slide, you are able to see the log levels. We have a first log level is a trace and debug is a 2, third, and 4, 5, and 6. By default in Spring Boot, they enable info log level. Whenever you enabled as a info log level, it will display the warning. It will display this all log levels by default. It will be enabled. Suppose if you enable as a debug, it will display the full log. Now if you want to enable as a trace, it will display the full logs. Now you want only the error. Now you can enable only the error. You can customize by using some properties you need to configure in application.properties. Okay, debug label when to use means in development environment. If you want to debug any application, if some issue happen, you want to debug the application level each and everything, then if you enable as a debug mode, for every request it will increase your logs, whereas the info, the log size will be a small. Okay, suppose if you enable as a info, it will display 100 lines. If you enable as a debug, it will display as a 150 lines. If you enable as a trace, it will display very clear cut idea from starting to ending. Every type of logs it will display in all packages. So the log level is very important. In development environment, we'll use the debug mode. In production environment, we'll use the info log. Okay. Now you know already profile based, right? So based on the profile, I can display my the logs. Now try to see here how you need to enable the logging means. Okay. If you want to enable the trace, it will give complete information with auto configuration, conditional classes, unconditional classes, lot of things it will be display. This is the configuration point. Now just let me open the application. So here only you can see. Now let me see what you can do. Spring Boot profiles is there, right? Now let me copy another application. Spring Boot instead of profiles, Spring Boot uh, profile logging. Let me take as backup Spring Boot profile logging. So same application and keep on extending with new information, guys. Okay. Now now by default, whenever you are running your application, you are able to see here info log. You are able to display all the info and warning, and see info and warning. Why info and warning displaying? Why? Because default Spring Boot is giving as the info. That's why warning, error, and fatal it will be displayed. Now try to enable the logging in development environment. Now try to see. Let me go for dev environment. Here just you can enable one property. Okay, Spring Boot logging. Now you can say, let me comment it here, logging information. Now try to see Spring dot. Here you can use, instead of Spring also not required, type logging. See here, if you drop down you can see a lot of things here. Okay, logging level. If you try to see here logging level, if you make it as a dot here, root, that means complete information, whole packages it will display. If you use the control space bar, it will give predefined log levels. Now I want to display as a trace. If you run as a trace here, now try to see. Now let me start my application. Where is your main application? This is one, right? Now right click, run as Java application. Ah, are you able to see anything, guys, here? No, you are not able to see. That means your properties is configured test environment. Now I want to configure my dev environment. Now let me save the file. Now it will be restart anyway. Now try to see here, guys. Trace, debug. Are you able to see? all your unconditional clauses, auto configuration report, complete information. It will be display if you enable is it trace. Okay, in the basically in the real time we will enable as a debug mode. Okay, on specific package. Now try to see. Let me clear here. Let me save the report. Now you can display debug logs and there is no trace logs here. Now try to see here debug mode, debug logs. Now you can see here complete information you can display here. See, this is evaluation report. That means your auto configuration report positive matches. And if you go down here with info and debug, see Hickory pool connection. You see it is connected with this MySQL data source. Now it is displaying in the debug mode. These are all things enabled. Okay, in the real time, now this is a development environment. In the real time for the production you need to enable, okay, info level. Now you need to enable here info level. Okay, now if you make it control space, okay, info level. Now in testing environment also you need logging. Let me paste it here. Now here also you need info level only. So this is the way you need to enable your logging information. Now here go and try to change prod environment. Now try to see production environment. Now it will be execute your application. Now try to see here you are not able to see any debug mode. Info things only, warn information, everything you are displaying. Okay, I hope you guys are clear how you are enabling uh, log level information, how you need to enable debug mode, production mode, and one more mode, what, uh, trace mode. If you want warn, error, and fatal, you can go ahead and you can practice more on these log levels in the Spring Boot. Okay, so next, suppose I want to a specific package information I want to display. Now if you open your pom.xml, here you added as a web, right? This web application related information I want to debug. How you can do that? Now try to see here. Now let me open a ppt here so that you can see more information. Package level information. When I say package level, in the real time, if you want to display only your application logs, I don't want any Spring logs, Hibernate logs, any, I don't want any. You want to customize, you can do. This is the syntax. Now see, logging dot level dot, this is your package, org dot spring framework dot web. If you enable here, only it will display debug, info, warn, error, and fatal. Now if you need only the Hibernate, you can enable. Now if you want to display your package information, okay, right now we didn't integrated logging in our project. Now I will explain these two things. Now try to see here. Let me open. So now right now the development environment I want to change here. Now try to see here. Let me comment it this part. Let me comment this one. Okay, let me stop my server here. Now try to see logging dot level dot org. If you choose org, you will get a lot of packages. Which package if you want to enable, you can choose based on your package. Okay, now I want to make it as a spring. Now spring framework. Now if you make it spring framework dot specific package, you can choose here. Now I want a specific package, web package. Now you can use wd web, and control space you can enable as a debug mode. Now try to see here. Now let me run the application. Okay, I want to run my dev development environment. Now let me run application here. Now right click, run as Java application. See here. Now debug information are able to see. Now right side you can have, you can see here. uh, Let me maximize here. See here, all debugs you are displaying, able to see data Spring data repositories initialized. If you enable as a info log, this is your information. Debug mode, you can see URL mapping handler. Whenever you hit the URL where this URL handler mapping, it will be go and fetch, right? Now one more thing, debug handler mapping. See, this is specific to web package. Now if you want Hibernate package, now you can enable. Now try to see here. Let me copy. Okay, you can choose. Let me type here logging dot level dot org dot hibernate. Okay, you no need to hard code. Whenever you type, it will be suggest for you. Okay, hibernate. Now I want to display trace. Now I want to trace logs. Now I'm going to as a true. Now let me clear this one. Your application will start again. Now try to see. Now application is started. Yeah, see, out of memory error has occurred. Now let me do click OK. Just stop my application. Again, you can run your application. No issues here. Run as run Java application. See, trace logs you are able to see. Trace logs of Hibernate related. See, session information, correction manager, JDBC coordinator, all like a trace level logs. Okay, very detailed level information you will get if you enable as a true. If you enable as a deep development related information, you can get it here. You can, by using the logs, you can read your based on your output. Okay, now this is the way you need to enable your logging information. After few sessions I will explain how you need to create your own logging in your project, how you need to enable. I will explain later point of time. Okay, I hope you guys are clear, you enjoyed this session, I hope. So if you like this video, please hit subscribe button and leave your feedback. Thank you guys, we'll see you in the next tutorial.